Well, good evening, Hannah. As I was signing off at 5:30, we actually had a tow truck come down this road. It just turned onto Oakview Drive here, and that's the latest that we have seen from here as police are continuing their crime scene investigations.
Well, it was emotional. Dozens of family members filled the courtroom of Judge Thomas Klee, waiting on bated breath for what that sentencing will be, hoping for the maximum sentence. But before that, they were able to share stories about their family members that had died at the hands of Mays at the VA Medical Center. Now that leaves just one question tonight, and that is the why of this resignation. We've reached out to the superintendent's office several times over the past week, but have not received an answer or any comments up to this point. In Glenville, Joe Buchanan, 5 News. They returned to the courtroom just about 4, where they convicted Peter Wyszynski Jr. of death of a child by a custodian by knowingly allowing child abuse. Now this stems from the death of his 5-year-old nephew back in March of 2020. As the clock struck 11:30 this morning, over a dozen men, women, and children took the plunge into the 30-degree water, including me. That'll shock you into the new year. Woo. Dozen trailers make up the Willow Beach Trailer Park in Clarksburg, many of them having been here for decades.
I've lived here at Willow Beach for 23 years.
But the future of each of these families now uncertain. They were handed this in September, a notice of lease termination, giving them just weeks to find a new home.
People, they were just, I mean, they were flabbergasted. They just didn't know what to do.
Linda Carlio has been battling cancer over the past few years. She now faces a new challenge as she has not been able to work while in treatment.
It's not fair what he's doing. It's just not fair.
The deadline has since been extended. Residents now have until December to clear out of the trailer park. The property owner says he made this decision after he received a notice by the Department of Environmental Protection.
We received a notice of violation on our sewage treatment plant, in which they advised us we have to add tertiary treatment, which is a third layer of treatment to our sewage plant. With that, we did our research and whatnot on what the cost would be involved with that. The minimum amount of cost would be $50,000.
Pritt said the other option was to raise rent on the properties from around $200 to nearly $1,000 a month, a price some residents would struggle to meet. Now residents face a challenge they were not expecting.
I've been here 23 years. My God, I've got to move now. I've done retired.
Judith Sturm says she will be moving in 2 weeks. She tore down her patio and at 69 years old is finding her new home.
But it's like being homeless. But the Lord will figure it out.
Pritz tells me there's no plan for what to do with the trailer park after everyone has moved out. In Clarksburg, Joe Buchanan, 5 News.
This is the biggest one we've had so far.
Jan Jerzak is the superintendent of Cooper's Rock State Forest. He was the last one home Wednesday morning after the multi-state effort to contain the fire.
The grand total, we had 16 West Virginia fire departments and agencies and 3 Pennsylvania fire departments for about 106 personnel last night.
The fire was contained just after midnight, leaving a burn scar stretching through 30.5 acres of the state forest.
The forest is open. People can utilize it. There's no danger to anybody. Yesterday we did kind of close the forest down and kind of usher people out of the forest for their safety.
Now crews are working to suppress any hot spots left over, and they're using this guy to find them.
We're using one of our own drones to map the fire and continue to look for heat spots using thermal imagery.
Roger Osborne is the Unmanned Aerial System Project Manager for the West Virginia Department of Forestry. He tells me they are using this operation to test new equipment.
Well, this one is actually on loan from the county, and we are testing it out to see if it's the appropriate model that we'd like to have or if we want to get something different.
This wildfire will play a role in the evolution of fire response for the Department of Forestry as they now fight fires from new heights.